if I will. Now on me, get you killed. That's a metaphor for the skill. Ain't no metaphor for the real. Under influence of the pill. Majority of rappers on the bill. Bullshit raps I don't feel. Y'all the main course on the meal. Followers be up in the mills. Probably got a house up on the hills. Probably getting a lot of riches, a lot of whips, and I can barely manage how to pay the bills. But I still be up in the studio, and my son eating good, so nutritional. Wish I could follow suit, but I tell it to the crew, so I gotta eat these rappers, I just let them know. Everybody know me, 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 everybody know me.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday to everybody out there on YouTube. It is yours truly, the Ace, here with my guy Hector from Uptown Sports Television is in the building. What's good, my guy?
Chilling, baby. You know, I'm happy. First time for the season on with Ace Avenue. You know, we family, brothers. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to you guys. Smack that like button. Hit that sub button. My guy Ace is right there at 2K subs. Let's get to 2K for my brother.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man, we are so close to 2K. That's right. Make sure you guys subscribe to Hector from Uptown Sports. They do a great job over there. It is pinned in the comment section. I can't make it any easier for you guys to go and click that button. It is right there for you. So make sure you guys show some support. They just hit over 5K. They do a lot of great things, not just New York Yankees, New York everything. So let's go, man. How you feeling, man?
I'm doing good, bro. I got to say thank you, Mo. Shout out to you, bro, because, you know, when we passed 5K, you helped us get over it by having your community subscribe to us. So I appreciate you, brother. You know, it's all love. I personally, myself, I try to support every Yankee content creator, every content creator that's out there doing good work. So that's why I always shout you out. I shout out my guy, Jason161, my guy, Joe from The Shift. Jacob Petruzzi is in the chat. Jacob is like the top statistician for everyone that's out there on YouTube. He does it for me. He does it for Ace. He does it for Jason. So shout out to Jacob, shout out to Nosebleed. Spinning Mantis is in the chat. This amazing community that we have been able to cultivate on Yankees YouTube, Yankees Twitter, Yankees TikTok. So shout out to you, brother.
Definitely. Jacob, best mod on YouTube, no doubt. He's in every Yankee stream. We're going to have to, look, all of us Yankee content creators are going to have to talk and maybe get Jacob something nice for Christmas because he deserves it. You know what I'm saying?
Jacob needs his union dues. You got to get Jacob is unionized now on YouTube.
Exactly. Jacob's talking about he wanted to manage me. It was an ongoing joke for a couple of days with me and NFE. Also, shout out to NFE from the Strike Zone, where Jacob was trying to negotiate my fee to hop on NFE's channel. Because he's like, oh, Ace, you know people are getting paid. I'm like, I'm doing this shit for free? Like, what the hell? But nah, it was all love, man. But thank you for popping on, man. We're here to talk about the series that we just went underway versus the Cleveland Guardians. Yankees were able to avoid the sweep. Game one, going into this series, you know, possible playoff matchup, you know, an ALCS matchup from last year. Last time we saw these guys, you know what I'm saying, we put Class A out, Judge, Giancarlo Stanton. So going into the regular season, they got a little bit of extra mojo going into the series. They're trying to prove a point. So game one, Clark Schmidt's on the bump. His second outing, you know, first two innings, okay, got through it, no problem. You know what I'm saying? What I wanted to see from Clark Schmidt was just a something to build off of after his first outing. Ends up giving up 2 home runs. One of them is a 3-run shot to Jose Ramirez. Adds another one in the 4th inning, you know, and in the 6th inning. Yankees down 6-0. Try to show some fight in the 7th and 8th inning with 2 2-run home runs, but ultimately they fall short. Hector, what were your thoughts overall on this game and the performance by Clark Schmidt?
Well, when you look at that game one, right, I'm pulling up Clark Schmidt's stats right now. And his last start that he made against the Guardians, like you said, 4 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 home runs. We gotta bring down the home run ball. But for me, from the get-go, I think, I know you said the first 2 innings were solid, but I don't even think Clark Schmidt had a 1-2-3 inning in that start. You know, I may be mistaken. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I just felt like it was just one of those starts coming back from rehab. He is still trying to find his groove out there, right? He was dominating in the lower levels at AAA when he was doing his rehab starts. First start in the big league was solid. This start giving up 5 runs, 2 home runs against the Cleveland Guardians. Granted, it's a playoff team. Got to give respect to the Guardians at the end of the day. They're not a pushover. They're not the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's not one of these low-tier teams. They're not the Colorado Rockies. So salute to the Guardians. You know, they took advantage and they took care of business this series, 2 out of 3.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Clark Schmidt, like I said, I just wanted to see something he could build off of. The New York Yankee bats in this game went stagnant for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like 0 from Wells, one hit from Judge. Cody Bellinger continues to struggle. We'll get more into him. Paul Goldschmidt has been great this entire season.
Oh, man.
But then, you know, we ended up getting 2 2-run home runs from Jazz and Jason Dominguez to kind of bring it close. And I was really hoping the Yankees were going to be able to ride some momentum. But this game was tricky, though, because we didn't have Rice to start, and we didn't have Trent Grisham, who's on paternity leave. Congratulations to Trent Grisham, by the way.
Shout out.
But, you know, we didn't have 2 of our big bats. Pablo Reyes was getting, you know, time. You know, Pablo Reyes ended up getting a hit. But, you know, this lineup from the jump was kind of, you know, iffy, and we were due to kind of get one of these smackings. But, yeah, Yankees made it interesting towards the end.
Yeah, and when you look at the box score from that game, I have it pulled up right now. When it comes to the Yankees, the middle of the lineup, they all got hits, and that's what you want to see. Judge got a hit, Bellinger got a hit, Paul Goldsmith with 2 hits on the day, Jazz Chisholm with that 2-run home run, Anthony Volpe had a hit, Jason Dominguez had a 2-run home run, and even Pablo Reyes. That's what you want to see. And in games where the middle of the lineup are producing the way that they produce in Game 1 versus the Guardians, these are the games that you have to win. Granted, the Yankees did it. Our pitching was the reason that it fell through, giving up 6 runs to the Cleveland Guardians. But I just want to put this out there. No shade to Pablo Reyes. But if Pablo Reyes is your third baseman in a game against a team that you're expecting to see in the postseason, you're shooting yourself in the foot. For me, Oswaldo should have started that game. Oswaldo was hitting close to 300. Well, they had Oswaldo at third base, but Pablo Reyes in right field.
Yeah,
but again, Pablo Reyes, he's just dead weight until Giancarlo Stanton or DJ LeMahieu come back and he gets DFA'd.
Yeah. I was actually surprised by this. You guys had said something over there on Uptown Sports, and make sure you guys subscribe to them. Peraza's hurt, right?
Peraza, he's dealing with it's a managing issue, right? He should be available in the next series coming up against Toronto. But what I heard on Monday is that he was hurt and he was just dealing with like lingering pain. It wasn't nothing major to put him on the IL or have him miss significant time. It was more of a day-to-day issue, but he should be available for the next series that's coming up.
Yeah. See, with this first lineup, too, the Yankees called up Vivas because, you know, Grisham's on paternity leave. I would have liked to see Vivas get some play. We didn't see him at all. Same shit would have happened last year. You know what I'm saying? I would rather have seen Cabrera in right field for a stint, and because York Vivas, to me, looks very hitterish. Like, I like what he has to offer, but we have still yet to see him up here at the big league level. Do you think we'll see him before Trent Grisham gets back?
I don't know, just because how the Yankees treated him last year when he came back. If an injury happens and in the middle of the game and they need an emergency body, we could probably see him, but I'm not sure because I thought he'll get burned last year when he got called up. He didn't, so I just have to go off recent memory of what the Yankees did last time. So,
well, never mind. They just optioned him back down for Friday.
That's why Jacob is the statistician. That's why Jacob is the top moderator of all moderators. Shout out to my guy, Jacob Petruzzi. And shout out to Donnie Clark in the chat. Hey, yo, Donnie, A1 since day one, my guy.
Yep, exactly. Everybody, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe. So the Yankees ended up falling game 1, 6-4. Moving on to game 2, I was really hoping that the bats were getting going to be able to carry some stuff. You know, Ben Rice gets it started with the solo home run. Ben Aros continues to cook out here, bro. This guy has been a godsend. Yankees add 1 more in the 6th inning. Will Warren, all things considered, had a really good first 5 innings. And I called it going into the 6th inning. I said, if I'm Boone, I'm taking him out. You went through the order twice. Looked really good. The 3rd time through the order against a young rookie is when you can start getting tagged, and that's exactly what happened. We saw a couple of hard hit balls. Then Boone goes right to the bullpen. 3 runs end up getting given up, and then we end up losing this game 3-2. What were your thoughts on Will Warren's bounce back performance? Well, I would say bounce back performance. What were your thoughts overall on that in game 2?
I thought Will Warren was phenomenal. I know you point out that 6th inning and you thought Boone should have took him out to begin the inning. I'm from the camp of let him be in that 6th inning. So on April 23rd, he can gain the experience that he would need going towards August and September. Because in August and September, we're going to want Will Warren to give us 6 or 7 innings. He doesn't have that experience doing that at the major league level. So right now in April, this is the perfect time to let Will Warren go up against a team that was in the postseason. If the Yankees would have won game 1, I would have been more cool with it. That way, cool. Game 2, we already won game 1. If we lose this game, still have the rubber match tomorrow to go out there and win, right? But the fact that the Yankees lost game 1 and they decided, you know what, let's go with our young kid. Let's see if he could make his way through that 6th inning. I was a bit surprised. I like to see it from Aaron Boone. Trust Will Warren. I think Will Warren, he definitely has the head to pitch in New York. I did an interview with Will Warren, me and Jason. He definitely wants to pitch in New York. He wants to be in big time situations. So I wasn't surprised. I want to see Will Warren getting more experience and getting more repetition deep into games.
Yeah. All right. When it comes to Will Warren, right, I think he's got good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I would like to see more velocity in the fastball because he's averaging about 92.8. You know what I'm saying? That's not really that fast. Like, he can ramp it up to 94, but the control isn't really there, especially with, like I said, when I'm watching these games. You have to have electric stuff to be able to get through the third time through the lineup, because again, guys have 2 at-bats that they've seen from you. He's got some good stuff to get you through the first and second time. He definitely gives me Clark Schmidt vibes from last year as far as he can get us through the first and second time through the order, but I was screaming I'm like, look, you got 5 out of him. That was great. Pitch count was around like 70. And I'm like, look, don't try to push it. Don't try to steal outs. Take him out. 2 hard hit balls, and then that was it. You know what I'm saying? That was all she wrote. But realistically, I understand, I respect what you're saying as far as you got to give him that time to go out there and take the lumps. But realistically, the bats need to get going a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because outside 100%. Of a home run by Ben Rice, you should never lose a 3-0 1-run game like this. You know what I'm saying? When you only score 2 runs. 3 runs is not insurmountable for this lineup. When you have Ben Rice that starts us off first pitch, opposite way home run, and you don't do anything to the 6th inning on a Jazz Chisholm sacrifice fly, you know what I'm saying? The bat should be able to carry a guy like that. Like, if we had a lead, I would have put him out there. But when we had only a 2-0 lead, if we would have had a little bit more, then I would have left him out there. Going back to that 6th inning, right? Before I give my take on the hitting, when it comes to the defense, you cannot let that ball get past you from Mark Leiter. You can't. There's no excuse on that. When you give teams extra opportunities, when you allow teams, their runners, to move into scoring position, you're just putting so much more pressure on your starting pitcher or your reliever to get those outs. And again, when the Yankees beat the Guardians in the postseason, we beat the Guardians because we took advantage of the mistakes that they made. What did Cleveland do in game 2? They took advantage of the mistakes that we made in that 6th inning. If we make no mistakes, we were coming out of this series winning 2 games out of 3 instead of happy that we didn't get swept. Yeah, absolutely. At times this one we have really good Yankee defense, but at times it just seems like 1 inning they just have mental lapses. Escara wasn't the only thing. It was, look, realistically, it was a perfect combination because it was a hit and run with Mark Leiter Jr., who's got disgusting stuff. You know what I'm saying? Escara just took his eye off the ball, pass ball, scores a run. Yeah. The next play, Aaron Judge makes a bad decision. In my opinion, you shouldn't dive for that ball if you're in right field, because then all of a sudden, the run is gonna score regardless on a sacrifice fly or a bloop single. But then you're letting another runner in scoring position, and then Anthony Volpe shows up and makes an error, and it's getting to the point now where I see fans are getting very, very frustrated with Anthony Volpe. We're gonna talk about him later on as well, but because he's not hitting, and if you're letting us down defensively, it's like, dude, what are you doing? Yeah. When it comes to Volpe, I'm right there with you. If you're not going to give us anything offensively, right now he's barely above the Mendoza line. If not, he's below the Mendoza line. He's under. If he's under the Mendoza line. If you're not going to give us anything offensively, then defensively, you need to make sure you are on your P's and Q's. You got to be on your A game. And isn't it funny, Ace, April 23rd, where the fuck is the chat? I'm sorry for cursing. Where's the chatter about these damn torpedo bats and Anthony Volpe and Jazz Chisholm? Everybody talked about it to start the season when Volpe had a home run and Chisholm had a home run and the Yankees are cheating and, oh my God, this is unfair. What's going on? It's crickets, because those same guys that were hitting home runs to start the season with the torpedo bats, they're barely at the Mendoza line, if not under. Yeah, well, torpedo bats ain't gonna make no sense if you're striking out a lot, which is what Anthony Volpe had a golden sombrero in today's game. So it's just like, it's tough. Here's a stat on Volpe, right? Before we get into game 3, Anthony Volpe in the last handful of games, right? Let me see. In the last 16 games, he is batting 132, 7 for 53 with 22 strikeouts. 22 strikeouts. Yeah, I saw that stat line during the game.
Yep.
Bro, he is going to have to. My thing is this: during the game, I want Volpe to succeed. I'm a big fan of Anthony Volpe. Realistically, like I'm looking at it like he's got the tools. He needs to change his approach, in my opinion. I say it all the time, dude. You need to go to right field. Stop trying to pull everything. Those balls that are in the outside corner, you know what I'm saying? You can't pull those. They showed a stat versus the Pirates, dude, and all he got was a dose of fastballs, and they were blowing it by him. And it's just like, bro, you're trying to pull on everything. If you change your approach to right field, you allow the ball to travel a little bit more to be able to see it better and take those outside pitches to right field. And it pays huge in Yankee Stadium with that short right porch. Like, I don't know what he's doing with this approach, but I don't know if he needs to grab a chicken Parmesan sandwich. I don't know what's going on, but something needs to change.
How long before the Yankees have to do something with Anthony Volpe? Because you remember prospect with the Arizona Diamondbacks, Alek Thomas, right? Center fielder, amazing speed, amazing glove. They just optioned him back to AAA. He's in AAA. He was with the big leagues for the same amount of time. His rookie year was Volpe's rookie year, if I'm not mistaken, right? Shout out to my guy Dennis in the chat. Hey, the People Champ is in the building. Theo Dennis Bendición. Listen, guys, if you guys have ever watched the Yankee games and you watch the rope, the person with the big ass WWE Yankees championship belt, that's Dennis. So make sure you guys go and follow Dennis on all social media platforms. Shout out my guy. It's all love and it's always family whenever I'm at Yankee Stadium with the Bleacher Creatures.
Nice. To answer your question, how much time Yankees got with them? I said this: if he struggles this year, next year might be his last with us. Because it's as simple as this. Like, I like to go by the rule of threes. If we haven't seen anything, like rookie year was solid. Last year, he dipped down in certain places. This year, he's got off to, a hot start OPS wise, hitting those home runs. But the average, like you said, has dipped below the Mendoza line. So it's like, I think with George Lombard Jr. coming up, it's going to put that extra pressure on him, man. Like, realistically, it just as well as I do. I think if Volpe struggles this year, next year could be his last. To the people that are out there, like, we got to extend Volpe. I'm like, I want to wait and see. I really want to wait and see.
The Yankees are just so in love with Anthony Volpe. I don't see them moving off of him anytime soon, right? When George Lombard was at spring training, they had him at third base. Right now, they have George Lombard at second base. I'm not sure if they decided we're going to move George Lombard to second base and not third base. That way, he's still used to up the middle, playing up. If they eventually have to make that decision between him and Volpe, I'm not sure. I like to believe Anthony Volpe's future is being the shortstop for the New York Yankees. Whenever I'm at the stadium, Anthony Volpe, he always makes himself available to the media. He always makes himself available to the fans that are there early for batting practice, for signatures and stuff like that. It's a good story on the surface level, but on the baseball field, we need to see results. And Anthony Volpe needs to start producing in order to warrant having that starting job for the New York Yankees. Shout out to Norma, the Yankee fan in the building.
Yeah, she loves Volpe. I mean, I do too. You know what I'm saying? I want the kid to succeed. Came up in a big moment, like I said, in the World Series and delivered. It's just he just has to change his approach. Like, and it's not just him, man. Like, a lot of these Yankee bats. All right, I was gonna talk about game. We'll get to game 3 in a second. Here's the thing with these Yankee bats, right? For Ben Rice, great. Off to a great start. It's found money with the start that we've gotten from Ben Rice. Aaron Judge is the best player on the planet. It's not even debatable. I don't want to hear that Shohei shit. Realistically, Aaron Judge is the best player on the planet. Paul Goldschmidt has been found money. But if you look at 3, 5, 6, and 7, heck, they are batting under 200. You got 4 out of your 5 hitters batting under 200. Realistically, you know what I would do if I'm Boone? I'd just do a little bit of a lineup change. Realistically, I was talking to Grace, shout out to the lovely Grace Monroe as well. I was talking to her on Twitter. I was like, I'd give 2 weeks until I drop Bellinger. And she was like, who would you put up there? At this point in time, man, I would go, I think about moving Wells up because I've been seeing some good things from Wells as of late. And last year we were able to get him unlocked when we put him in that cleanup spot. I would love to go Rice, Judge, Wells, Goldschmidt, then Bellinger, then mix in Jazz, Volpe, Dominguez, Cabrera. Realistically, I'd be all for moving Dominguez and Cabrera up. They're hitting better. If you're hitting better, you deserve more opportunities to hit. It's as simple as that. What would you do as far as the lineup? Would you keep it the same for now, or would you think about moving some things around?
I would keep it the same for now, right? Just because if this was May 23rd and not April 23rd, 100%. I'm with you. Got to shake some shit up. Got to move some pieces around. Jason Dominguez has a whole month and a half of hitting well, and Oswaldo a whole month and a half of hitting well. But on April 23rd, I want to keep Jason Dominguez and Oswaldo where they're at. I was gonna say, bro, you drinking Prime, bro? That's some nasty shit you drinking. That's all I got, bro. I had that strawberry
banana.
Prime is some of the nastiest shit in the world you could drink. Anywho, go back to your question,
this man about
bro.
to ruin my sponsorship with Logan Paul.
Nah, sorry. No. All thoughts and that was on me. Never mind. But no. If this was May 23rd, not April 23rd, I will 100% agree with you. Move some pieces around, move Bellinger down in the lineup so he could get a little bit more comfortable. But I just want to keep it as it is because Jason Dominguez and Oswaldo are performing so well at the bottom. I don't want to do to them what we did to Anthony Volpe last year. Because last year, at the same time, Anthony Volpe, for the first 2-3 weeks of the season, we were talking about all-star nod for Anthony Volpe. He was hitting 280. He was killing it, home runs, stolen bases. And then we put him in the off spot, and then he totally did a whole dip. And that's what I want to avoid with both Jason Dominguez and Cabrera, respectfully.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. The time matters. But like I said, I'm about 2 weeks away. Dude, I'm tired of watching Bellinger not be able to protect Aaron Judge. Like, it's to the point where Aaron Judge hits a double. Okay, nobody out. Bellinger, all you got to do is hit the ball to the right side. This motherfucker hits it to third. I'm like, oh, my gosh, bro. Like, what are you doing? It just seems like with Cody Bellinger, okay, I have complete faith that he'll turn it around. No doubt. Mm-hmm. He is a professional ball player. I was ecstatic when the Yankees got him. I still think he'll find himself. But I think he's pressing right now. I was hoping he was going to be able to warm things up when he went to Tampa because he had such a great spring training. But he's still, he sprinkled in a hit or two here and there, but still not enough for me considering that Aaron Judge is otherworldly right now. At what point in time are other teams just going to not pitch to Aaron Judge? This dude is killing it. 4 for 4. He went 6 for 6 in his last before even getting another out. This guy is on another planet, man.
I want to ask you, Ace, as somebody, take the content creator side of it. As somebody who's a Yankee fan, when was the last time we saw a Yankee on April 23rd hitting 415? When was the last time that happened? When was the last time that? Not in my lifetime.
No.
And we've been blessed to have lineups with Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, right? Paul O'Neill, Tino Martinez. The cops agree me as well in the background, right?
I know, right?
So, but again, April 23rd, the man's hitting 415, and this is without Juan Soto in the lineup.
Yeah, and Giancarlo Stanton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's going to happen when that happens? Look, it solidifies that we know. Aaron Judge is not just the best player on the planet. He's all-time great at this point. Like, this man is doing things on a consistent basis that great players can only fathom. They're comparing him with some of the greatest with this stretch that he's going on. Hitting over 400 is not, dude, people don't hit 400. People barely hit 300 in this day and age. Bro, if you're hitting 280, that's considered really good nowadays. But Aaron Judge is just doing things, you know what I'm saying, and especially with no protection. No protection at all. Could you just imagine when he does get that sort of protection, when Bellinger starts stepping it up, when Giancarlo Stanton starts stepping it up, this dude is going to be on fire. He should have 8 home runs. They robbed him of one. And actually, he almost hit one today if it wasn't for the stadium. Hit right off that. So let's go ahead and get into game 3 since I brought it up. Yankees looking to salvage one game of this series. Great start by the New York Yankees. Aaron Judge triples after a Ben Rice walk. Like I said, if it wasn't for the stadium wall being the dimensions of it, that ball is out of there. And then Paul Goldschmidt adds a double. And Yankees up 2-0 in the beginning of the game. Bats came alive early. 4 runs in the first couple of innings. Rice and Goldie add singles on there. Yankees up 4-1, and then end up tacking one more on in the 7th inning. End up winning 5-1. Carlos Rodon looked phenomenal today. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run with 8 strikeouts. Gave us a quality start. This man, Carlos Rodon, I'm saying this, and I said this, I still think he's only had one bad start, heck. For real. Like, circumstances have dictated a lot of stuff. And in this game with Carlos Rodon, we've seen it was a real opportunity for bad Rodon to show up. You know what I'm saying? Somebody was asking me, which Carlos Rodon is showing up? Carlos Rodon or Carlos Rodon? I said, yo, we're going to fuck around and get Carlos Rodon. And that's how it is. A couple of instances in this game where he had an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, where things don't tend to go his way, and we've seen in the past where it has blown up in his face, but not this time. He was able to shut down a lot of things, and he looked really good today. What were your thoughts on game 3 and the man Rodon?
for me, for Carlos Rodon, this is what you want. 7 innings. I'm gonna read off his stat line. 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. That 1 run was unearned. 2 walks and 8 strikeouts. This is what you want from Carlos Rodon. If you could get this from Rodon on a consistent basis to go alongside of Max Fried, you can ride the ship until Clark Schmidt figures it out, until Luis Hill comes back, and then the Yankees starting rotation is what it is at the trade deadline. I don't think Marcus Stroman is ever going to pitch again for the Yankees. That's another story for another day. But when it comes to Carlos Rodon, this is what you want. Shout out to Los. He was on his money. I want to ask you, Ace, after that first inning, when he gave up that run in that first inning, were you like, oh my God, here we go again? Because that was me. I was like, God damn it, Carlos, what are you doing? And then he was able to get out that inning, and then he struck out the side in the 4th inning. And I'm like, yeah, Carlos Rodon is feeling it. And when Carlos Rodon is feeling it, he is one of the nastiest pitchers in all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah. The reason why I'm gonna say no is because you got to think about it. Bellinger made an error, and Rodon was able to pick up his teammate in that first inning because Bellinger booted it, and Ramirez ended up with they called it a single, but it was a 2-run error. So I didn't think obviously those are moments where he falls apart. But I'm like, as soon as he got out of that first inning, I knew he was locked in. So it was a different kind of Los that we were seeing today. And the man looked good, man. He looked really good. This is what we're paying him top dollar for, to go out there and shove and be a stopper when we're on a 2-game losing streak. You don't want to get swept. No one ever wants to get swept. You want to win every single series that you can. But when you're paying Carlos Rodon, 3rd highest man on the team, and he's getting paid like a number 1, he went out there today and he dealt. That's exactly what we've been looking for.
Yep. And this is something that I've been bringing up, right? And this is not a secret. The Yankees in 2020, they switched up their philosophy when it comes to developing players, and I talked about it on the show earlier today, and you're seeing their plan literally play out right in front of us, right? The Yankees decided in 2020, you know what we're going to do? We are going to focus on young positional players that have control. We're going to develop pitchers and use those for trade, and we are going to import free agent pitchers with using our wallet, our best asset, which is our money. Look at our starting lineup. Our starting lineup today, look at it right now. Ben Rice, homegrown talent. Aaron Judge, homegrown talent. Anthony Volpe, homegrown talent. Austin Wells, homegrown talent. Jason Dominguez, homegrown. Oswaldo Cabrera, homegrown. 6 of the guys in our lineup are all homegrown talent. And what did the Yankees do? They imported Garrett Cole, money. They imported Carlos Rodon, money. They imported Max Fried, money. And then you supplement them with a Clark Schmidt, who is cheap, a Luis Hill, who is cheap, right? That's the game plan that the Yankees are playing with us. And it allows the Yankees to set themselves up for the future and not shoot themselves in the foot, because everybody out there was saying, we need to get Christian Walker instead of Paul Goldschmidt. Look how that's paying out.
Yeah, exactly. Paul Goldschmidt's been a godsend. Like, pitching is premier in the MLB, right? You should go out and get good pitching if you can. You know what I'm saying? Yankees are always able to find out with Matt Blake in the pitching department. They are always able to find guys, plug and play, you know what I'm saying, especially out in the bullpen. Fernando Cruz, shout out to him, dude. His ERA is about 2. That's going very quietly. No one's talking about it. So he's looked very good. You know, there was a point in time where our bullpen was, I think we had like a less than 1 ERA and like 20-something innings pitched. So the bullpens look really good. Obviously, you know, Devin Williams is off to a slow start, but realistically, I'm not worried about him at all. I know other fans are. I went back and forth with a bunch of fans that are like, yo, you know, Devin Williams, I see the frustrations, especially because Luke Weaver's dealing. Now, Luke Weaver did get tagged, did get tagged twice today, but the ball was able to get held into the ballpark. And also, shout out to Austin Wells, man, doing what a catcher does best. He saw on that second fly ball that was hit far, right, that Weaver thought was gone, that Weaver was visibly frustrated. What did he do? Timeout. I'm going to go settle this man down. And then a great play defensively by Cody Bellinger to seal the game, and then the Yankees end up winning. What were your thoughts overall on just in general as far as how Austin Wells and how the bullpens looked?
Well, starting with Fernando Cruz, I think Fernando Cruz and Goldsmith, the biggest steals in the offseason, right? We flipped Jose Trevino, our amigo Jose Trevino, for Fernando Cruz, a guy who was our backup, possibly our third string catcher on the depth chart. We was able to flip him for Fernando Cruz. And this is the thing that gets me visibly upset with Yankee fans sometimes, Ace. And let me just vent for like 2.3 seconds. I'm quick. I'm one of the first ones to criticize Brian Cashman when a move doesn't get made, right? But when Brian Cashman makes moves, you got to give this man his flowers. A few years ago, he flipped Mike Tauchman for Wandy Peralta. At the moment, Yankee fans were upset. Mike Tauchman, we need him. Wandy Peralta wound up being a solid piece for the Yankees bullpen for several seasons. Fernando Cruz, we flipped for Jose Trevino for Fernando Cruz. Look at what we're getting out of Fernando Cruz, who grew up a diehard Yankee fan, who is from La Isla de la Canta, the PR, right? That's my guy from that La Isla. I love what I'm seeing out of Fernando Cruz. This bullpen is going to get a lot stronger because we got Jonathan Loáisiga as well, who was on his way back.
Yeah, exactly. It's your boy Sunil, so he's chiming in. But nah, I'm right there with you, dude. Ian Hamilton's been solid coming back too. Yankees are getting some reinforcements back. Jonathan Loáisiga, I heard you guys talking about him on your show earlier. I'm a big fan of Johnny Lowe, man. It's just that he can't stay healthy, man. Like, he's got electric stuff, dude. That fastball sinker slider combination is really electric. You know what I'm saying? I was calling last year's game where this motherfucker punched the ground, and I was like, if he gets hurt, I'm gonna be upset. And no enough, he wasn't. Then after that, he was on the IL. I'm like, dude, really? Like, really? But, I have complete faith. Like you said, I have complete faith in this Yankee organization to be able to get stuff. Like, we finesse Cruz. Dude, we finesse Devin Williams. Even though he's off to a slow start, dude, we finesse him. Dude, we finesse for Cody Bellinger. We give him Cody Petit, and then they end up cutting him.
Yeah, every move we finesse. Like, Nestor Cortez right now is on the 60-day IL. There's talks that he might not even pitch the rest of this season, right? So we literally just gave up Caleb Durbin for Devin Williams, and I don't think no shade to Caleb Durbin. I don't think he's winning Rookie of the Year this season or next year, right? So I think when it comes to Devin Williams, Yankee fans, we suffer from Mariano Rivera syndrome. And that's what it is. We're so used to having that ninth inning locked down. Mariano pitched for like almost 20 years. So we had 20 seasons of flawless inning baseball. The only reliever or only closer that was able to step to take over for Mariano and not miss a beat was Rafael Soriano. And that was the year that Mariano got injured running in Kansas City. We needed a closer. He was our closer for the next year, and then he got paid the following season and was never the same, right? So that was the only guy that was able to step in for Mariano and be lights out. Ever since then, it's been a roller coaster, or it's been a rotating game of musical chairs with different closers, and each one, you love them for 2 seconds and then you hate them right after that. So I think Devin Williams is going to find himself. Just give him some time.
Yeah, I mean, I see the fans' frustration. Like I said, I love Devin Williams. I'm a huge fan of his.
Same.
Dude, closers are struggling. Even Emmanuel Clase is struggling. Those are the two best
put him on the IL, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was telling people today, I was talking to, it was Savius that was like, he's never really heard of Devin Williams. I'm like, I understand that because you're probably not plugged into the Brewers, and we don't play them a lot, especially being a Yankee fan. But this guy is one of the best closers in the league. Do you really think he just forgot to pitch? Like, I understand it's a lot of pressure in New York, but do you really think he just doesn't know how to do it? And Yankee fans add that added pressure because they're seeing Luke Weaver perform well. Devin Williams is going to have to pitch somewhere. Even if you flip them, who's going to be the setup man?
Yeah.
You can't just not pay him. I mean, you can't just not play him. You're going to say, oh, he's struggling. No, he has to go out there and find it. Like you had said, and like you said on your show a couple times, he gets off the slow starts. You know that. You and I both know that. He gets off the slow starts and then he's locked down. All things considered with this year, how he played against his former team, went on paternity leave. Like, all that shit matters, man. People aren't talking about that shit. It's not an excuse for the kid, but to play against your former team, then immediately after you're on paternity leave, you're gone for a couple of days. Then you come back and it's freezing cold outside. That shit matters, but he's only blown one save overall. So I think Yankee fans just need to chill out.
I want to shout out my guy Ben. His name Brew Crew SW on TikTok and Twitter and on YouTube. He's a Milwaukee Brewer content creator, right? And he put something out, having a conversation on TikTok Live. Guys, make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. I do TikTok Live, Uptown Sports TV. I'm trying to get Ace to get a TikTok, so he can be up there with me también. But Ben pointed it out that last year, his cutter usage, he's not throwing his cutter anymore. His cutter is non-existent this year. It's just a fastball and his changeup or screwball combination. Also, each one of his saves last year, when they were home, the dome was the dome. He had the dome. He wasn't dealing with the cold weather like he's dealing with here in New York, right? So not trying to find excuses. I thought it was very interesting the way that Ben pointed that out to me, that the fact that, one, his cutter is non-existent. He's not throwing it no more this year. So you have a guy whose fastball is just straight. You could just react to the fastball and you could just spit on that changeup knowing that it's coming. You have that cutter, you're more deceptive because the cutter goes east to west, just like that changeup does, right? It's not straight like his fastball. So I'm not sure of him not throwing his cutter, if it's a Devin Williams decision or if to Matt Blake and the New York Yankees decision. But I thought that was very interesting that Ben pointed out his cutter his cutter usage rate has totally disappeared this season.
Yeah. So Neil has a question right here. Your thoughts on this, given the bullpen budget analytics that Boone loves to play, do we keep Luke Weaver and Devin Williams strictly in the closer role in rotation to avoid blowing high leverage arms? Yeah, I mean, they're going to be in those two roles. I mean, I still think Luke Weaver, look, the fact that Luke Weaver came on the scene last year and was fucking phenomenal for us and now is our setup man, that when Devin Williams gets it going, dude, and Luke Weaver, the fact that he can give you multiple innings, you get a lead past the 7th inning, it might be lights out when these guys are both on their A game. That's how it feels for me. What do you think?
For me, last offseason, like after, I know with the whole Juan Soto, when we traded for him, but when it was announced that the Yankees re-signed Luke Weaver, I was on stream when that happened, right? And it was like, I got the notification. I was like, what are we signing this guy for? We need to go out there. We need to get an actual closer. We need to get Josh Hader or something like that. Luke Weaver proved me wrong, shut me up. And I see what Sunil is saying, and he brings up the example of the Nasty Boys and the Cincinnati Reds. But Luke Weaver, his ability to give you multiple innings is the reason why I want to keep him as a setup guy. Because at any time, if you need Luke Weaver to come in the game in the 7th inning, he could pitch the 7th and 8th inning and pass it over to Devin Williams for that 9th inning. You make your game a lot shorter if Luke Weaver is your setup guy because of his ability to pitch multiple innings. Even if he doesn't pitch 2 innings, if he pitches an inning and a third, if he has to just come in early in the 7th inning just to get the last out, he still gives you options. Devin Williams, he's not a closer that's used to pitching multiple innings the way that Weaver is, because Weaver was a former starter.
Absolutely. I don't think people really understand how difficult it is for a true reliever to go out there, have to sit on the bench, and then come back out and get ramped up again, because a lot of them are coming right out of the bullpen. You don't get it. You don't get to go back out to the bullpen. Luke Weaver comes in, like you said, gets the final 2 outs in the 7th inning. We know he's good to go for the 8th. You got to have that guy that can get that hold stat. It's as simple as that. The hold stat is one of the most underrated stats in the game, because no one really talks about it. Everybody's all enamored with saves, but you need to get to that guy who's going to be the bridge, and it's Luke Weaver, and we have one hell of a bridge to Devin Williams.
This was something that, growing up as a young Yankee fan, always getting frustrated because we didn't after the 90s and when we got into the mid 2000s, we didn't have that bridge to Mariano, right? It was I hope we could get it to Mariano because Mariano was going to close the game down, right? Now we have the bridge, and if you have Luke Weaver who could come in that 7th or 8th inning, and you get Jonathan Loizaga coming back ace, and he in the 6th inning, on top of Tim Hill, on top of Mark Ladd, that right there on paper has the potential of being the best bullpen, not just in the American League, but in all of Major League Baseball. And Fernando Cruz. And I'm forgetting Cruz. Yep. I'm talking all these names, and I'm still forgetting Fernando Cruz. Thank you, Donnie Clark.
Yep. Exactly. Like you were saying, it's different. It's a different ball game in the 90s, especially with that rule where you have to pitch 3 people. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, to set up Mariano, you can have a righty-lefty warming up and have him pitch 1 inning, and then a lefty comes up, throw a lefty out there. You can't do that no more. The guy has to go out there for at least 3 innings. It's a whole different ball game. All right, so we're going to wrapping things up here shortly. We do appreciate everybody for popping in here. Episode 6 is wrapping up. Make sure you guys hit that like button to yours truly and my guy Hector from Uptown Sports. All right, series standout. Give me your series standout. Somebody hit the Taco Bell joint. Is that you?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Well, we know what Hector's eating. I don't even got to ask him. We know what he's ordering. Yeah, so give me your series standout for this series versus the Guardians. Who you got?
As much as I want to say Aaron Judge, obviously, everyone's going to pick Aaron Judge, it's Paul Goldschmidt. The way that Paul Goldschmidt is going and gunning. Paul Goldschmidt he literally is the Energizer Bunny. The way that he is going, the way that he looks. The one thing that I pointed out about Paul Goldschmidt is that when the Yankees brought him in, they told the big fella, listen, you don't have to be the MP version of Paul Goldschmidt. We just need you to be a guy that could get on base and give some protection to Aaron Judge, whether it's a single or whether it's a double. Paul Goldschmidt said, all right, cool. That's what I'm going to give you. He has 1 home run of the season, but he's hitting .380. How can Paul Goldschmidt not be the standout? I know Aaron over 400, but I really got to give it to Paul Goldschmidt. Credit to Goldie.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. If I picked Paul Goldschmidt a couple episodes ago because he's just been otherworldly and such a gossip. Me and Jason from 161, shout out to Jason from 161, both picked Paul Goldschmidt. I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to go ahead and go with Aaron Judge because you picked Paul Goldschmidt. If you'd have picked Judge, then I would have picked Goldschmidt. But Aaron Judge is him, boy. Like, he is, like, best player on the planet. Like I said, I don't want to hear this Shohei shit. Look, put it like this, Heck. Aaron Judge is so good, they're trying to nerf him now. They're taking away home runs that are home runs. But meanwhile, they're giving Ohtani home runs. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to nerf this guy. You know what I'm saying? They're like, that's visibly a home run. You know what? We got to take this away because this guy is too good. Man, just going 6 for 6. People don't understand how hard that is. That is not easy. Going 6 straight at bats with a hit, with walks in between. He killed it this series. So he's definitely going to be my series standout, man. Final thoughts on the captain before we get out of here.
He's him. He is him. Aaron Judge is him. And when you look at his stats right now, fucking Shohei Ohtani is hitting 264. Aaron Judge is hitting 415. Aaron Judge, him, number 99. Put me on your back. Thank you so much, Jacob. Make sure you guys follow me on the Tiki Talks. I do go live on TikTok once a day. I was live earlier today. But now, Aaron Judge, what more can you say about number 99? Knock on wood, I'm glad Aaron Judge is my captain. I'm glad I've been able to witness 2 of the greatest Yankee captains in baseball history. That's Derek Jeter and that's Aaron Judge. And like I said, going into the season, Aaron Judge, he's on his revenge, his revenge arc. He is going out there and he's trying to get revenge for what happened in the World Series against the Dodgers. Aaron Judge is him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, he who shall not be named that left the Yankees is struggling as well. So, I mean, hey, that just goes to show you, man, there's only one Judge, man. This guy is all-time great. He is him. All right, final segment that we're going to do here. Give me your series step up next series. Who you got that needs to step up this next series?
Listen, can I have like a group? Because if I'm gonna have a group, I'm calling them the Yankees Wu-Tang Clan, right? I need Cody Bellinger, I need Anthony Volpe, I need Jazz Chisholm. I know Austin Wells had a hit in an RBI or whatever, but I need I need all 4 of those guys to step more Cody Bellinger than the other 3 that I mentioned. I need Cody Bellinger to set the tone so everybody else that I named can follow suit after him. Yankee fans, if you guys are going to the stadium this weekend, I know it may be cliche. I know some of you guys may find it corny, but when Cody Bellinger goes up to bat, shower that man with flowers. Shower him with cheers. I was at the Mets game covering over the weekend. I was able to be in the press in the post-game press conference. I was able to get a question in to Carlos Mendoza, and my question was asking him, how important was it that you, Carlos, the manager, and the players saw the fans showing up to Citi Field in support of Juan Soto, who is struggling? And what did Mendoza tell me? He said, it's super important. He's like, us teammates and me, we're not the only ones that feel it. The opposing manager feels it. The opposing players, the opposing pitcher, they feel it. So it's good to have your stadium full and have your guys ready to go to war with the guys on the field. So Yankee fans, if you guys are going to Yankee Stadium, please do that for Cody Bellinger this weekend. Don't call it corny. Don't say, what are you doing? He's struggling. No, shower that man with praises. Show some love.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna go with the same thing. I need Volpe and Wells to step up. You know what I'm saying? Volpe in particular. Wells, I've seen some good things. Austin Wells last year, even though he got off to a slow start as well, sharing time with Jose Trevino, he was at least hitting the ball hard. I'm starting to see that today. You know what I'm saying? Like that hit that he had opposite field right over the head of Quan was a hard hit ball. He's starting to show me some things. So I'm going to need him to step up a little bit and take that next leap, because guess what? These next 9 games for the New York Yankees, we're going against the AL East. Realistically, I want us at 6-9. And we can gain some ground early in the AL East. 3 against the Blue Jays, 3 against the Orioles, 3 against the Rays. 6-9 is what I like. You know what I'm saying? We'd like to go out there and sweep the Rays, but at the minimum, give me 6-9.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I know we already took 3 out of 4 games against the Tampa Bay Rays. We got Toronto coming in this weekend. We should have swept their asses. I'll be there for Friday's game. It's my anniversary weekend, so I'm going to be plugged out. Me and my girl, we make 6 years strong this Saturday, right? So I'm going to be plugged out. I'll be at the game this Friday. Besides that, you guys won't see me until next week, Monday. But when it comes to this next homestand, how many games is it against division opponents? I'm sorry, Ace, I missed what you said. 9
two
games.
at home. Then no, I'm sorry. Yeah, two of them at home. 3 at home, then 3 against the Orioles, and then 3 back at the Rays.
Copy. So in those 9 games, I'm gonna need the Yankees to go 6-3, just like you. We got to win every series. We could drop 1 game each series, but we got to win the next 3. We got to win the next 3 series. We got to go 6 out of 3 over the next 9 games. We need to establish that lead in the American League East, because when you look at it across baseball, right? I know Yankee fans are complaining about how shitty this team is or how crappy this team has been playing. Guys, we legit have the number 1 record in the American League. On April 23rd, with all the struggles, with Cody Bellinger struggling, with Anthony Volpe, with Jazz Chisholm, with all those struggles, we still have the best record in the American League. What more can you want? Thank you, Donnie.
Exactly. All right, man. So that does wrap up episode 6. I do appreciate you for coming on, man. And also, happy anniversary to you, man. Definitely 6 years strong is nothing to scoff at, man. And hopefully, it starts with 6 years and it lasts till forever for you guys. Know what I mean? I be seeing you out there, man. She got you cheesing. I see you.
Yeah. She's my person. I love her to death. Everybody knows Alex. She's amazing. She helps me when it comes to the moderating stuff. I always say this like this. I wouldn't be shit as a content creator if I didn't have my girlfriend to show me how to do graphics, to show me how to do editing, to show me how it is to set up a camera and lighting and stuff like that. So I always got to give her credit when credit is due. Shout out to my girl, because without her, I wouldn't be shit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Behind every great man is a wonderful woman, is what they say, right? So, hey, that's what it comes down to. So tell them what you got going on before you get out of here, man.
Yes, guys. Make sure you guys follow Uptown Sports TV. Make sure you guys go visit latinosports.com. I am the social media and marketing manager and on-field reporter. I got 3 jobs that I do for Latino Sports. Make sure you guys go to latinosports.com. If you guys don't know, Latino Sports, we present the Latino MVP Award every year in Major League Baseball. This is an award that dates back to 1990. The first recipient was Ruben Sierra. This year, we're presenting it to Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor. Juan Soto won it for the American League last year for the Yankees, and Francisco Lindor in the National League, as well with some players from Milwaukee or all across Major League Baseball. So, guys, visit latinosports.com, visit Uptown Sports TV. Ace, I appreciate you, my guy. It's always a family affair whenever we link up.
Before we get out of here, give me your prediction. Who's getting the award this year? Who do you think?
Oh, God. Okay, so right now for the National League, it's Francisco Lindor. It's Francisco Lindor for the National League. It's a shame, and I'm not a Mets fan. It's a shame. Francisco Lindor, ever since being a Met, finished top 3, top 5 every year MVP voting, but he has yet to represent that team in the All-Star game. I think that's disrespectful, and I think that's embarrassing for that fan base over there. But Lindor in the National League, for the American League, I'm gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez in the American League. Jose Ramirez has been nominated every year for the Latino MVP Award. He has yet to win it, and I'm pulling for Jose Ramirez this year. Vladdy has won it in the past, but Jose Ramirez, that's who I'm pulling for.
Nice. Cool. Well, that wraps up episode 6. I do appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe to Uptown Sports. As far as me, you guys know, for your sports, movies, and more, subscribe to yours truly. I just dropped my review to Sinners, so if you guys can go out there, check that out. I greatly appreciate it. Thunderbolts next week, heck, bro, it's getting such great reviews.
I purposely did not watch it in his review because me and my girlfriend are going to watch it this weekend, and I have it saved in my playlist as a video to watch after I see the movie. And I can't wait for Thunderbolts. Low key, it looks like it's going to be this 2025 version of Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yep. Also, all my reviews are spoiler free, just so you know. So it's not giving away anything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely. But nah, I'm gonna send you some stuff about how Thunderbolts is doing, man. It's getting your boy excited. Next Thursday, Yankees are off tomorrow, so I will be live tomorrow on Friday, starting for the Blue Jays series. Yankees are off next Thursday. I will be doing my review to Thunderbolts. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe for your sports, movies, and more by yours truly. What's up?
At the end of this last. When this season is over, please, can we do a show? Me, you, and my guy Pete Kennedy from WFAN, because me and Pete, we need somebody to geek out with. I think he was on with us when we was talking about it.
I popped
in the chat. Yeah, you popped into the chat.
Oh, he was nerd out. I saw.
Yeah. We need a place so we could do that. So if you down to do that, we could do that over here with you, brother.
Oh, definitely, dude. I'm always down. Look, I'm trying to do more group reviews this year, so let's definitely do that, man. We'll definitely link up. But nah, man, this is a big year for movies. I told myself I'm covering 25, 4 down, even though I've seen a couple that I haven't got a chance to cover, but 4 down, 21 to go for yours truly. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. Heck, my guy, appreciate you, dude. All right, guys, we're out of here. I was just about to say, I'm going to get some Taco Bell because you played that shit, so I'm going to get some Taco Bell.
Hey,
so we're out of here, guys.
Shout out to the chat.
Definitely.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. Be blessed, everybody, and we'll see you guys on Friday. I'm taking a day off tomorrow, man. I have not had a day off in about 2 weeks from streaming. I'm taking the day off, so I'll see you guys on Friday. As always, thank you for tuning in to the Ace Avenue. I am yours truly, the Ace. My guy Hector from Uptown. Television is in the building. Adios.
Deuces.